Triple P. Triple P. Triple P. Panels for comics, turn the page. Ink in the margins, front to stage. Pile drivers for wrestling, crowd goes wild. Place for good food, served up styled. One name, 3 lanes, here we roll. Turn it up, let it go, let it go. Triple P, Triple P. 3 things we love. Triple P, Triple P. Turn it up loud. Panels, pile drivers, plates.
Hello, welcome in for episode 6 of Triple P, the Comic Pod, Panels, Pile Drivers, and Plates with Josh Newell. I'm your co-host, Super Dave Miller, and we couldn't do it without the man himself, the author of Castle Aiden, the promoter of Bayou Independent Wrestling, Mr. Josh Newell. Josh, how you doing this week, buddy?
Doing great. It's Wednesday, so that means New Comic Book Day, which always makes me happy.
I can't wait to see what you got.
Yeah, I don't have like the bags, but I got it memorized
Okay.
what I brought in this week. So it was a good week for us. We spent about $40-50. So when I say a good week, I mean a bad week for my wallet, but a good week for our reading. So
Well, we've had quite the week. I mean, coming off of a big event in Oak Grove.
yeah, that was our best one yet. No Grove.
I thought it was a very, very good show, top to bottom.
Yeah, the attendance was up, the energy in the building was up. The wrestlers worked hard, put on a good show. We asked some people to do some stuff they've never done before, and they stepped up to the plate and did it. So proud of those guys, the Ivy League especially. And
Yeah,
it was just a fun night.
Cards subject to change seemed to hit this one harder than most.
Absolutely, it did. I was still booking wrestlers at 8 o'clock Friday night,
Oh, wow.
and the show was Saturday. So
I was impressed with the Ivy League. I was impressed with Brooklyn. Of course, Braxton Hunter, tremendous talent. I've probably been working with him here. I used to work with him at Ego, so I've known him since he was really young.
right.
So, I mean,
He's worked for BIW a few different times over the years, just nothing consistent.
right.
A little spot show here, a little spot show there. We talked Saturday night, and there might be some plans in place for next year, putting him and somebody in a tag team division. So it'll be interesting to see if that plays out, and if it does, they're going to make for a really good team.
I guess we could recap and give the quick results from Oak Grove.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it was our best attendance yet, but we still had a lot of our diehards not there because it was the same night as Battle of the Badges.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there was reasons we didn't have. I mean, the whole front row was empty.
Yeah, well, that was reserved.
Well, yeah, but they were over at Battle of the Badges, so.
Well, no, those weren't Battle of the Badges people. Those people were local Oak Grove.
Oh, okay.
Jesse's, which is a store there in Oak Grove, and then Shepherd's Creation, which creates all of Miss Ginger's shirts.
Okay.
Both those people had bought, double-digit tickets. So we had about 12 to 15 we had reserved for them. That once we knew that they weren't coming, I pulled those reserved and let some kids from the third and fourth rows come up and sit on those. But for the first 2 or 3 matches, there was about 12 to 15, front row seats that nobody was sitting in. And by the third match, I was like, all right, they're not coming, so let's get these kids up here. And that worked out good for us.
We started it out, Wes Warren and Christian Blake.
Yeah, just a competitive, solid, hard-hitting match. You could kind of tell what the crowd wanted because once they started really lighting into each other is when the crowd kind of woke up and was there. And this particular crowd wanted you to jaw with them, but then they wanted you to hit, right. And they really popped on like the hard impact, whether it was a chop, a punch, whatever. But if it landed snug, they were into it Saturday night.
And these guys got a history, so
Absolutely.
that wasn't their first time in there. They work well together, and they love to beat the piss out of each other.
Yeah, it was their first time to wrestle each other in BIW, but they've been fighting each other all over the South for a long time, and probably will for a lot longer.
But Christian Blake got the win on that one.
Yep.
The Perfect Tag Team was one of the ones that didn't make it, but we had the Ivy League in there, and I don't have a graphic for them. I apologize. But it's Desmond Thibodeau and Jay Hell, and they two extremely talented young men. And there was times in that match that I thought that they were going to take it.
Yeah, they're training down at LWA in the Lafayette area, and honestly, just to pull back the curtain a little bit, I found out that the Perfect Tag Team couldn't make it Thursday morning around 9-10 o'clock, and Jay Hale had sent me a message about coming up and just watching the show, and he was going to see if it was okay if he came up and help set up the ring and stuff, and he timed that message perfect because it was about 30 minutes after I'd got the message from the Perfect Tag Team, and I was trying to figure out what we were going to do. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry about just doing the ring. Why don't you come ready to work? And we brought him and his tag partner in, and they did a heck of a job. They were underdogs for sure. They don't have the experience of Muddy Waters. They don't have the size of Muddy Waters. They were in a new place. The experience is way less. But they put up a fight. It was actually the longest match of the night. I went back and watched Big Sam's video at 318, and it was the longest match of the night by a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I didn't know that it went that long.
It did. There was
until Sam told me that it was 27 minutes. I had no idea it had gone that long.
No, it wasn't 27 minutes from the bell ringing to fight. That's counting entrances and stuff. And Muddy Waters is gonna play with the crowd. They gonna dance. They gonna have a good time. They gonna do their thing. But yeah, it was a good 21 minutes of wrestling for sure. Maybe 20. Our time limit for non-title matches is 20, but our time limit for title matches is 30.
Yeah.
So if this would have been a non-title match, it would have went to a draw.
It was a good match. It really was. I hope we see the Ivy League back again.
I would be surprised if we don't see them again.
Yeah. Then we had Miss Brooklyn Barrett come in, fresh off of her stint in Japan. Product of the Nightmare Factory. Attitude. It was her birthday.
Yeah, she almost got a birthday present of being the new BIW Women's Champion, but Cassandra was able to hang on.
Yeah.
Cassandra's the only two-time Women's Champion in BIW history, and she doesn't want to give it up.
No, and I was impressed with Brooklyn.
Yeah, she's coming back next month for us.
But Cassandra's no pushover.
No. Plus, she has such a big size advantage on Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It was hard for Brooklyn to not get her down, but to keep her down.
You could tell that there was key pieces to Brooklyn's offense that did not work on Cassandra.
Yeah.
Cassandra was just too powerful for her on some things.
And even though, Brooklyn's coming back next month because she did do a good job, she's wrestling Haley, who a lot of our audience will know as, the woman that's always with Alex Arsenal at his merch table. She's not quite size-wise maybe as big as Cassandra, but she works out every day with Arsenal, and she's in the gym, and she lifts a lot of mega weights. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see that too, because I think Brooklyn's going to run into some of the same problems of not being able to execute certain things because of the size and strength difference. And I know she's probably used to that, being a smaller girl that's been wrestling all this time. So she's going to have to pull out some new weapons.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Instead of Ray Fury, we had Braxton Hunter versus Hunter Law.
Yeah, and I was fixing this one Friday night because Ray had told me Friday evening. So Friday night, I was still trying to find an opponent, but not just any opponent. This was one of our highlight matches, so I needed somebody that could go in there and go, because I couldn't just put anybody in there. This was something that I was banking on being
Right.
a
I
money
mean,
card show.
Ray was on the poster.
Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be a money match, so I needed somebody that could still come in and deliver a money match. And Braxton, with his experience with Hunter and the history they have, was able to go in there and give me that on very, very, very short notice.
Well, Braxton just about had him. Unfortunately, he went to go. Hunter went to put him on the ropes, and it was kind of a freak deal because when Hunter put him up there, I think Hunter was trying to get him to the top, but he set him on the ropes, but it hit Braxton's leg, but he bounced and then came down and it got him in the pills.
Right.
And
it was a wrap from there.
Yeah, it was all over the end because Hunter recognized it. It wasn't something I could disqualify him for because he didn't rack him on the top ropes.
Right.
It was the bounce. It wasn't 100% clean, but it wasn't blatant either. So
yeah, I think there was a little bit of bad luck in there for Braxton.
Yeah, but he capped Hunter. You can't make those kind of mistakes with Hunter, and he capitalized on it and got the win.
Hunter's on a roll, and because of that roll, him and Steve Anthony are going to lock up November 14th, and it's a number one contenders match. So the winner's going to get a title shot against Alex Arsenal. It'll probably be the first person, like the first title shot of 2027, will go to the winner of that match. And it might not even be Arsenal as the champion by then, because there is going to be some stuff coming up for Arsenal too. But if he is still the champion, that'll be the match, and that's another money match. So, and then here we had our second ever meeting of these two guys.
This was fun.
It was different. You don't see a match where two guys respect each other too often in independent wrestling, and they weren't trying to cheat. They weren't trying to go behind your back. They weren't trying to, do anything outside of the rules of professional wrestling. They just wanted to fight for a championship and to show people that they were the best wrestler on the card. And that's what they were trying to do.
It was like there was tension with every move.
Yeah.
And
because I can tell you that
you didn't know out of nowhere it could be over.
Yeah, and I can tell you Arsenal really looks up to Steve Anthony and wanted to impress Steve Anthony and wanted to show him that he belongs in that ring, and that, he might not be quite what Steve Anthony's done, but on any given day he can compete with him and beat him. Yeah,
Alex Arsenal's story is still, is very, very much in its infancy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it was fun. It was I had a good time. I was tense because I get nervous whenever I referee for Steve Anthony, because his intensity level brings that out in you.
Right.
Like I said, it felt like every sequence that they went to, every time every move, every counter move could end.
Right.
And I don't know which one of them got me, but a hand came out and a finger went through my eye. And when I tell you they tried to poke me in the brain, I couldn't see, Josh. I pulled my shirt up trying to just dab my eye with my shirt. I couldn't open my left eye, and it's my good eye.
Right. Yeah, I was a little disappointed with how the match ended, considering how good it was up until that point. But Hunter Law ended up getting what he deserves for sticking his nose in the main event. They ran him out of there, and he tried to hide under the ring, but they found him.
Yeah, I love that the crowd ratted him out.
Yeah, he deserved it.
And they got some licks on him, but I went back and watched, and I didn't realize that's how it. I just know that Arsenal hollered Dave, right. And I turned because he yelled it a couple times, and I turned around and looked, and like I said, I couldn't even open my left eye. and I can barely see out of my right one as it is. And I could see shoulders down, so I counted it, but I had no idea.
Arsenal
And
swears,
Arsenal didn't know either.
Yeah, Arsenal swears that he didn't know that Hunter got involved, and I believe him. From everything I've seen, I have no reason not to believe him.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting part of the night for sure. And of course, Anthony and Hunter Law's story is going to continue, and they'll lock up November 14th. And then Arsenal's got some stuff coming up with the Bayou Kingdom, and Rob Love has already challenged Arsenal to a weapons match for November 14th. I just haven't necessarily decided if I'm going to okay that or not. I'm pretty sure I'm going to let them meet, but I don't know if in the state of Louisiana I want them to have a weapons match. So I'm still debating on that one. I'll probably make my decision after the September 19th show.
Huh. Oh, I did make a PDF of it. Never mind. I'm looking right at it. Which leads us to our next show for Fountain Hill, Arkansas. Calling it the long goodbye.
Yep. Tickets go on sale next week. It'll probably be Thursday. It could be Friday, but it'll probably be next Thursday that I make my way out to Fountain Hill and, start putting the flyers out and get the tickets to the outlet and pay the radio and pay the building and, talk to the sponsors and just start doing all the things that you do as a promoter to try and have a successful night.
This is a cool poster, by the way.
Josh McDaniels, as usual.
Yeah. So Saturday, September 19th at the
JYM
Center, Fountain Hill, Arkansas. Haley Daniel making her in-ring debut. She's a mainstay.
Oh yeah, you've seen her at Alex Arsenal's merch table. Just about every
Alex Arsenal package deal there.
Yep.
And and we'll have Brooklyn Barrett back, and even in a loss, she was impressive. So
yeah,
this would be this ought to be a good one.
I'm hoping so. I mean, they've never wrestled each other. Saturday night was the first night they've ever met, and of course that was just a brief little deal because Haley was at the merch table for Arsenal.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they're able to do and who comes out on top for sure.
Hunter Law versus Jaden Spade. This is gonna be a banger.
This one's gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah.
There's a chance it's not match of the night, but there's a good chance that it is. They've actually never wrestled each other, even though one lives in Lafayette and the other lives in the New Orleans area. So that doesn't really make sense to me that they've never wrestled each other. But I'll make it happen. I know we're going over to the state of Arkansas to do it, but I'll make it happen. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm excited because when we had Jaden Spade in, I was super impressed with that young man.
Yeah, he's done great for us the few times he's been in, but he's been killing it down south and, movies too, as a stunt double and different things. So he's had great success with that.
Yeah, I think he was on Young Rock also.
I know he did Sinners.
Yeah, he was in Sinners.
Yeah, I know for a fact he did Sinners. But he's done a lot of stuff. He was also, I know he did some Heels.
He did Heels for sure.
I want to say he was in the the Iron Claw.
Yes, he was.
I want to say he did that. So he's had, quite a bit of high profile movies that he's been a part of. But in the ring, I mean, he's no joke. So don't think you're just getting some soft actor.
No.
You're getting an athlete. You're getting a guy that'll punch you in the mouth. I don't understand why this match hadn't happened. When I found out that they had never wrestled each other, I was like, all right, we're fixing that quick.
He's built like a yield sign.
Yep.
Our Deep South Heritage champion on loan from the NWA. It feels like.
Yeah, it's hard.
Bam Bam's killing it.
He's got a NWA world title match coming up.
Yeah, the 29th against Thrillbilly Silas Mason.
I'm tempted to make my way up there and go support Bam Bam for that one.
I'm in town that weekend.
Okay.
I'm in town that weekend, and I'm tempted to, because one of my daughters has a baby shower to go to, and the other one, her and her husband are having their fantasy football party. So that evening I may slip over to Forney because I'm right there. It's a
Right.
30-minute drive from my daughter's house to Forney.
Okay. And you know they're going to be the main event, so even if you can't make the whole show, you can still go and catch, Bam Bam.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting there. But
I'm excited for him. What's the name? Do you know what the name of that the letters for the Forney promotion is?
Man,
TSW.
yeah, I think it's TSW.
But it's a recognized NWA territory, and
Yeah,
Bam is the Texas champion.
and he's a Forney boy too, so this
Yeah.
is in his city.
But he's not. He's the Texas champion of his NWA promotion
Right.
affiliate.
Yep.
Because Izzy James is the recognized NWA Texas heavyweight champion.
Right. Yeah. See, Bam Bam, of course, is the first ever person to win all the BIW belts too.
Yeah.
So he's just been killing it these last 2
I'm happy
years.
for him.
Absolutely.
To
I
me,
mean, he
getting a
had to
shot at the
miss-
NWA World Champion is a big deal.
Absolutely. He had to miss Saturday night because he was in Missouri, St. Louis, I believe.
Yeah.
Working for NWA, and he's had to miss 2 or 3 other shows this year working for the NWA. But again, that dedication and that hard work's paid off, and now he's got a chance to become the NWA World Champion. And that's just not something that many people have had an opportunity to do. So I'm rooting for him for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But going back to this match, he has to work to keep his title here at BIW.
Yeah.
Because Rook hasn't lost since he I hate to say turned heel, but basically since he turned his back on the fans.
Yeah.
He hasn't lost a match. So this will be interesting to see. And Rook's one of those guys that's very competitive, very athletic. Anytime he's been given a spot in BIW to shine, he has shined. He just hasn't been given as many opportunities as some people. Because Rook's had some gaps. Some of it is where he lives. He's an Oklahoma guy.
Yeah.
So when we're doing our Mississippi shows, we are a long ways from Rook Tyler. So sometimes it's hard for him to get out there and work the Brookhaven and Vicksburg and different Mississippi towns that we've done. So it kind of hurts some of his opportunities. But this one's right here in Arkansas, one of the easier drops for him. He's going to be fresh. He's going to be hungry. The last time we saw him, he was beating Gio Savage in a one-on-one match. So it'll be interesting.
And we got Chase Stevens in versus Alexander Gold.
Yeah, this is Gold's debut, but Arkansas fans know him well. He's been an Arkansas guy for many years now. Super athletic, super strong, definitely knows where the gym's at. Then you got Chase Stevens coming down from Tennessee, former, TNA guy, has done everything that you can do in wrestling. Just one of those tough guys. And I mean, you can Google Chase Stevens and hear about 10 tough guy stories. That's legit one of the toughest guys to hit a pro wrestling ring in the last 20
Oh, yeah. I've heard him tell me some stories. I've heard other people that have been around him for years and years telling stories.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got confirmation from Jeff Jarrett that some of them were exactly as they were told to me.
Yeah.
There was no embellishment.
He has some good stories with him and Tracy Smothers running around doing evil. So, and it's not hard to get those stories out of Chase. So I'm sure on the September 19th, I'll pull up a chair next to him for at least 20 minutes and get one good or maybe 2 good Chase Stevens stories.
Yeah. When he's in the locker room, ears open, mouth shut's the best way to be because you'll hear.
He's something too, because like veterans are also different. So like when you have Tim Storm, you're like sitting and you're waiting for like the lesson and, the under the tree moment. And then finally, before the night's over, he'll do his little stretch and then he'll tell you something and you pocket it and you learn it. Well, Chase is going to joke for about 3 hours. And then he's going to eventually pop out about 10, 15 minutes of knowledge that you'll only get to hear from Chase Stevens. So you got to wade through all the jokes and the laughter and the stories. And then next thing you know, he flips the script, gets serious, and he tells you something that will stick with you forever. I've learned some things from Chase on nights where I thought I wasn't learning anything from Chase. Um, but then eventually, there it is. Boom. There's that legend and that experience and that person that's seen it all, done it all.
He's very good at when I've worked with him. Sometimes you'll hear him talk. You'll hear him talk, but he talks to me a lot
Mm-hmm.
when we're working together. And I've learned in the ring while being in the ring with him.
I mean, Chase is still great. He's still phenomenal in the ring. But if you go back 10, 15 years, he's somebody that, like, very easily could have been an NWA world champion or,
Oh yeah,
could have been at that level. And I said world champion. He's won many tag titles for the NWA and for other people. But there was a time period in Chase's life that you could have put a world title on that man and been very, very proud that he was representing your company. And again, he's not far off from that. I'm not trying to say that. But there was a time period when he was the man. And I still think he's one of the men. Like, he's still at the top. But there was a time period where I think he was the man. And I've told the story on this podcast before where seeing him wrestle back in front of 40 people against America's Most Wanted, it was the Naturals versus America's Most Wanted, is why I booked him at a later date.
yeah.
Because they worked their butt off in front of 40 people and had a match you could have done anywhere, anytime, main event. And they weren't even the main event. And it was just phenomenal. And I was like, all right, when I start BIW, which was 20 years ago at this point, I'm going to book that man. And we ended up making it work. David Young was another one that I saw that night. He made Hacksaw Jim Duggan look great. And Hacksaw was definitely at the back end of his career. So I was like, all right, we're going to bring David in. And sure enough, when I brought David in, him and Steve Anthony in Saline, Louisiana, had one of the top 10, 15 matches in BIW history. And this was 17 years ago.
Is David Young and Jeremy Young the same person?
No. The Fire is Jeremy Young. And then David Young, of course, was on TNA. He did.
You're right. I know who you're talking about.
He's kind of one of the best spine busters I've ever seen. His spine buster is right up there with Arn Anderson's.
I know who you're talking about. I had a senior moment. Jeremy Young's cowboy.
Yep. And then David did the Triple X with Low Key. Who else was in it? Elix Skipper, and I think maybe Christopher Daniels at different points.
Man, I saw Elix Skipper a few months ago, and he doesn't wrestle anymore. And he came in with Buddy Lee Parker to do that wrestling seminar.
Right.
And he still looks like $1 million.
Man, I was a big Elix Skipper fan back in the day.
Yeah. He's a good guy. He still has it.
Nice.
All right. The champs on one side
and Bayou Kingdom on the
other.
Yeah, this one's gonna have some heat to it because Rob Love and Arsenal got no love loss, and then Muddy Waters having the tag belts, Cold World wanting the tag belts. So you got Bayou Kingdom really trying to leave an impression in Fountain Hill, Arkansas, and they're going to have every opportunity to. Because if you leave the champs laying, I mean, I can't help but give you what you want. I can't help but give you a title match if you leave the champs laying.
Yeah, this is a different type of matchup because Rob Love's a talent in the ring, but Rob Love could become a wrestling manager and be brilliant at it.
Oh yeah. He's going to get to kind of, guide situations and tell people what to do and, lay some traps and things like that.
Yeah, he's going to pick his spots.
To do, stuff that he doesn't have a chance to do in singles matches. He's going to be able to do in the 6-man tag, which makes him pretty dangerous.
He's very cerebral.
Absolutely.
All right. And that's everybody. That's the long goodbye.
Yep.
Fountain Hill, Arkansas.
Yep. Tickets on sale next week. Ashley Gas and Tackle, just as always. Miss Betty Walls will have some too running around, trying to make sure all of CrossFit, Hamburg, maybe even up to Monticello know that we're coming.
All right. Let's move it into comics. We flipped it around a little bit.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
Castle Aiden update we got this week, Josh?
yeah. Well, last Thursday we completely funded. We met all our goals and everything. Everybody's going to get a bookmark with their product that they ordered. Issue 1 right now, we're working on the files. I just got the shirts in, so the T-shirts are in. But we're working on the files right now. They'll go to the printer as soon as Kickstarter funds, which is usually about 14 days after. So it'll probably be like next Thursday is when it'll fund. So we'll send everything to the printer there. And from there, it should take about 3 weeks to get it back to us. And then once it's back to us, we'll start getting it into y'all's guys' hands. And we're not going to play around. Like as soon as it gets back to us, me and Jason are going to get together, get the signatures needed for the people that did an ad signature on theirs, and start getting this stuff out to everybody. Say it comes in on a Tuesday, me and Jason are going to be around each other by Thursday or Friday. I mean, it's going to be that fast. Trying to get everything together and getting it to you guys safely, whether you got a poster or a T-shirt or the comic book or multiple comic books, whatever it is that's supposed to get your way, we're going to do it as fast as we can and as efficiently as we can. And of course, issue 2, all the interior is done as far as pencils and inks. We have all but one cover done. Color wise, we're on page 13. Lettering wise, we're on page 11. So we're going to have issue 2 up on Kickstarter in October, and hope to have it in your hands by middle of November. So you should be able to have 2 issues of Castle Aiden in your hands, this year. And we're already starting issue 3. We're going to start working on it September 22nd. And then Dark Minds, which I just finished writing issue 2 of today, that'll be started on November 2nd or 3rd. So, and we'll have it done to be on Kickstarter for February. We're going to try and have Dark Minds and Castle Aiden going at the same time, so you don't have to worry about missing out on Castle Aiden stories. I have a different crew working on Dark Minds than Castle Aiden, and I'm going to try and keep them both going at the same time. So in January, Castle Aiden Kickstarter 3 can hit, and then in February, Dark Minds issue 1 can hit. It's kind of the plan.
Hey, what was your feedback from DJ's appearance last? Did you get any feedback over the week of DJ's appearance on the show?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the people definitely want guests. They definitely want to see us talk to different people, and this is one of the few podcasts that we have such a wide range of people that we can talk to. I mean, we can talk to food, we can talk to comics, we can talk to wrestling, we can talk to writers, we can talk to so much different talent. I've already talked to Jason Turner. He's going to come on in September, which is, of course, the artist for Castle Aiden. He's also got a band and everything, so we'll talk about that as well. And then in October, I've already talked to the people that run Pops. They're going to come on and tell us a little bit about pre-crawfish season and, how they do what they do and how they've been successful. I know Saxon's wanting to come on here and talk a little bit of wrestling, but he also signed up to get the comic book. So, I mean, by the time we have him on, we'll be able to talk about Castle Aiden with him too. Keith Hall definitely wants to be a guest because he's somebody that's, working on doing a movie, but he's also done some comic books. He works as a caterer for different movies and things like that with a professional chef. Of course, he does the camera work a lot of times for BIW in Brookhaven. And then comics-wise, he's somebody that's already put out a few of his own comics. He kind of fits all of our boxes. So, yeah, we definitely got some people locked up and in mind and ready to kind of follow in DJ's footsteps. And then DJ wants to come back when his book hits Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And, of course, I told him absolutely.
DJ's hooking me up with his Spider-Man drawing.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. I did not expect to get...
And he just announced that he's going to be doing some work for Boom Studios, which is one of the bigger publishers in the United States. So that'll be exciting to see.
Well, he's definitely talented. I can't wait to see what's coming from him next.
Absolutely. I think he's got about 25 commission covers he's working on right now for Dork and Dungeon Crawler Carl. Because his DMs just blew up over the last, say, 5 days or so.
Well, I got to admit, when it comes to Castle Aiden, I'm super stoked. I'm super stoked about Baymore.
Yeah, you'll have to wait till issue 2 to get your.
I know, but I just cannot wait to.
So it'll be around.
Just from
Middle
what
of
we've
November.
talked about, Baymore just seems like this is going to be my guy.
I haven't met anybody yet that Baymore wasn't their favorite. My wife's favorite, Jason's favorite. I've let a few people read the script, their favorite, Loopy's favorite. Heck, and if I'm being honest, probably my favorite. But I'm interested in seeing who everybody's second favorite is, because I kind of already know who everybody's favorite is. So I'm more intrigued by who's going to be everybody's second favorite. Who are they rooting for? Who are they wanting to see more of? Whose story do they want to follow? And also, who do they hate the most? I'm interested in seeing that.
Well, I know nothing other than what we've talked about. But
Right.
in my mind, Baymore's going to be my favorite. I think I'm going to like the King. For some reason, I think they're going to have an antagonistic love-hate relationship.
Okay.
And I fully expect to not like this kid.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'm just saying my preconceived notions going into this that I just don't. And maybe it's because of the Game of Thrones.
Right.
And the way he's drawn, he kind of reminds me of Joffrey.
Got you.
And he was so horrible.
Well, after each issue, we'll make sure to kind of, check in and see, is Baymore still number one? Are we still feeling Marcus, or do we hate Leland? Is there somebody else that we dislike or we like? Because issue 1 is mostly about Marcus and Leland, and kind of trying to teach Leland a lesson, not just for now, but how he should handle himself when he is a king.
Right.
And we do meet a few characters. We meet a character named Sam, who kind of tries to help Leland as much as he can through some of these tough things. We meet a character named Jarrell, which is a member of the Inner Circle. We meet Beth. I can't go into too many reasons as to why we meet Beth, but I can say that she's a cook. We also meet Anthony Saxon, which is the leader of the King's Inner Circle. He's the best swordsman in Castle Aiden. Not necessarily the best fighter, but he is the best swordsman. You're not going to defeat him with a sword in your hand. Castle Aiden actually has a rule. To be the leader of the Inner Circle, you have to be the best swordsman, and he can be challenged at any time. So if somebody ever feels like they're, a better swordsman, they're man enough, they can challenge Saxon to a duel, and if they happen to win, they can take that top spot. But good luck winning.
All right. And that's going to bring us to Lanterns. Premiered on HBO Max this past Sunday night. And I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. But I loved it. And right off the bat, I think this could be the best produced piece of content that DC Comics has ever done.
Okay. I'm going to need to see a little more before I'm willing to.
I'm just saying, based on the first episode, now it could go south next week.
Right.
But I liked that it took place over 20 years. That we did 10-year jumps.
Right. Yeah, Tom King likes to do his time jumps. He does that in his comic book writing too.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the comics his jumps can get confusing, but I didn't feel like anything was confusing with this issue 1. I felt comfortable and I knew where we were at and what we were doing and what was going on. I definitely think it was probably the best first episode of any DC TV show that I've ever seen. It was definitely the best first episode, and I want to see where it goes. There's so many different ways they can take it. They left so many plots and characters that we can work with. Jon Stewart's casting was A+.
Yes.
I don't think you could have picked a better person. And I'd already seen him in Rebel Ridge and loved it, but he moves like Jon Stewart. He looks like Jon Stewart. He acts like he's Jon Stewart.
I think
this might end up being one of those roles that he nails it so good that going forward, people just like that's Green Lantern. You can't cast him in this role.
He's every bit as good at John Stewart as Robert Downey is as Tony Stark.
Yeah, we just got to see him get a chance to shine like that.
Yeah.
Because,
Now,
Tony or Robert Downey got to shine on the biggest of stages, and
Right.
Iron Man was it just led to so much stuff happening and being. If Iron Man would have flopped, who knows what would have happened to the following Marvel universe and what movies would have came and what movies would have happened. They needed Iron Man to be big, and Iron Man delivered, tenfold. But yeah, if he gets a chance to shine like that, like say this goes 4 or 5 seasons, and maybe even they try a Green Lantern movie again, since the Ryan Reynolds ones was such a flop. It was a bad movie. I mean, and that's
honestly,
not Ryan Reynolds.
Josh, I didn't think it was that bad. I thought that they tried to put 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bucket. I mean, they hot-shotted Sinestro.
Yeah.
It didn't need Parallax and the dude with the big head.
Yeah, they were worried that, like, this isn't Superman, this isn't Batman. What can we do to make sure it works? And sometimes when we try and do that, it just doesn't work because you got to take your time. You can't hot shot the town.
I didn't hate it, but I felt like it was too much.
Yeah, I disliked it. I mean, it wasn't a Catwoman bad.
I mean, I'm not turning it on every time it's on television.
No. I mean, it was better than Catwoman, probably Elektra, second Aquaman.
Yeah.
It was better than those. But that's not the movies you want to be slightly better than. You want to be better than, the Dark Knight trilogy. You want to be better than Iron Man. You want to be better than, Avengers. That's what we're shooting for. And you might not make it, but I mean, that's what you're shooting for.
Well, James Gunn put out the first 5 minutes of the episode out on Friday. And I watched it, and it set the hook because I think the dad and I think that John Stewart and his father, I think that they're huge fans of Green Lantern. I think the father respects him, and I think John wants to be him, and the father's encouraging it. But when you see, because John showed he wasn't scared.
Right.
That's the key. I'm not afraid.
Right.
And other kids were freaking out that he had the television on. They were going to get in trouble. And John waited till right when his dad opened the door, turned it off.
Right.
He wasn't scared. Turns around and tells him his name's Hal something.
Yeah, it was.
Takes him outside, and I thought that was probably one of the most messed up things I've probably ever seen on television.
Yeah, that was an intense scene for sure, and of course, the reaction as soon as it's over is nothing but love.
Yeah.
So, and
because
my wife
he wasn't scared.
Yeah, no, and my wife watched it with me. She's not a Green Lantern fan, and she doesn't really like detective shows, but and that's basically what Green Lantern was. It was a detective.
They're saying it's true detective with space cops.
Yeah, and I'm here for it. It was good, and the wife actually said, like, "Hey, I'll watch that one with you every Sunday."
Yeah, Stephanie liked it too. Was she appalled?
No,
I'm sorry. I'm looking in the comments. Darren Staley strikes again.
Shoot, that's too little a print. What did it say?
The Green Lantern is a dick dancer.
Yeah.
Arn Anderson called the Renegade a dick dancer. So everybody's going. That's the name of the week now. But Darren Staley knows his timing is impeccable. He popped me.
Yeah,
How did Kristen feel about the kid getting an apple shot off his head?
She was just kind of quiet, like, whoa.
Uncomfortable?
Is that what we're going to be watching going forward? And of course, we didn't see much of the kid stuff in episode 1. I'm sure we'll get flashes and different things of it later.
Yeah, because the dad's coaching him up through his training.
Oh yeah. His dad's definitely involved. I've seen some conspiracy theories on who might have shot Hal there at the end. Spoiler. You know, and
But do you believe it? Do you believe he's? Yeah. Hey, we're going to spoil this.
oh yeah,
We're
don't
not dancing around it.
yeah.
And
If you tune in to watch on Wednesday, this show that comes out every Sunday, know that for these 10, 15 minutes, we're definitely gonna
yeah, you
spoil.
can fast forward, turn it off, whatever. Just know that spoilers are coming. I'm not dancing around it, and I'm not waiting 2 weeks. We're not gonna have a window before we go spoilers.
No, I
'Cause
mean,
nobody else is. So
and with us, watching it every week and making it a part of the show, it's just kind of a have to. If it was a movie, we could kind of wait a little longer and
Yeah.
let everybody get a chance to watch it. But as a TV show, if you don't talk about it within the next week, something else crazy happens on episode 2.
if I wouldn't have watched it Sunday night, it would have been spoiled for me Monday morning, just scrolling TikTok
Right.
because you can't miss it on social media.
No, and it's getting such positive reviews right now, which is great. I'm glad that it is.
Yeah.
Because they did take a risk. I mean,
I don't believe he's dead.
going true, I don't think so either, but like he might be. It depends on what story they want to tell with the ring, because placement wise, we're to believe that Guy Gardner is already on Earth with the ring, because
Yes.
this is supposed to be after Superman. So like we know Guy Gardner has his ring, and we also know that there's not supposed to be that many rings on Earth at a time, and blah blah blah. So like, does Guy Gardner have that ring? Does somebody bad have that ring?
I heard that. I mean, the theory is that because you saw that John checked for the ring,
Right.
and it was gone. So the ring, if he was dead, the ring was going to find the next person.
Right.
And they're saying that Guy Gardner's got the ring. Guy Gardner's ring doesn't look like that.
Right.
But Lanterns was rewritten to fit into James Gunn's DC.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
But I don't think he's dead.
I mean, there's a chance that we have 3 Green Lanterns running around Earth at the same time by the time this is all over. You could have Hal, John Stewart, and Guy all on Earth by the time this is over.
It's kind of had an Emerald Knight feel to it.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, the more screen time you can get each lantern, the better chance you have of figuring out who the audience is in love with, who they wants to see more of, going forward. So in season 1, it would make sense to kind of test the waters a little bit and be like, all right.
Well, I don't think we're finding out anytime soon if he's really dead.
No, that's going to
because I think we're going to be spending most of the first season in 2016 in that town with the aliens and the militia.
Right.
And I think I'm intrigued about the grandma.
Yeah.
Of course, the guy said, hey, you're eating off another man's plate.
Yeah, me and my wife looked at each other on that line and was like, damn, okay.
That was she strategically did that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's more to meets the eye with these people.
Yeah, we know they hate aliens, but they might hate a little more. There might be some more people they hate. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, they've set it up beautifully.
Oh yeah, episode 1, I mean, couldn't go any better in my opinion. Now I know there was some people mad online with Hal and stuff, but it's the end of it's a cliffhanger. Like we don't know where it's going yet, so just sit down.
Yeah, we don't even. He could become paralyzed. How could become paralyzed? We haven't seen his interactions with Sinestro, and we know.
And
so we've seen the beginning of the story, and I liked how he was on the news introducing himself to the world. And now we've seen how it ends.
Right.
Like,
and heck, that could have even been a hologram. We saw
that we think Hal's dead, but now we're going to go back and get that story.
Yeah.
Because we can tell that John Stewart has a good relationship with that sheriff.
Oh yeah.
And there was an Easter egg. I don't know if you caught it or not. She was on the phone with the commissioner and asked how Barbara was doing.
Right.
So the
Yeah.
Easter egg is that she was talking to Commissioner Gordon.
Right. Yeah. And again, we don't know. That could have been a hologram because we already saw one, in the first episode. I don't think it's a hologram, but it could be. There's so many ways they could take this story, and I just want to sit back with my popcorn every Sunday and see where they take me. Kind of like Game of Thrones did back in the day for
Yeah,
me.
I love the interrogation of the alien.
Yeah.
Like Hal knew, and he just had to convince her, but she was like, "I can contain it." Well, can you? Did you bring your lantern? You've been here for 48 hours. Has it had a charge?
Yeah, I love that the alien knew that much information about Guy,
And then
about
started the oath,
Mm-hmm.
which seemed to enrage Hal to hear.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. They have so many layers and levels just in one episode that I'm ready. I wish it was Sunday right now.
Yeah, I hate that we couldn't binge watch the whole season.
I like it though because so many shows these days go ahead and give it all to you. I kind of like the let's talk about it, think about it. Have our
That and I don't.
conspiracy theories.
When you can binge it, people start chopping it up and putting them on clips and.
Yeah, and there's people that would watch it all in one day, and then the next day it would be on YouTube, and it would kind of ruin it. There are some shows that I like that, but when we're talking about something that's going to be, how many have they said how many episodes it's going to be? Is it going to be 8, 10?
I don't know.
Well, let's just say it's 10, and it might only be 8.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was 6.
Yeah, I hope it's more than 6. I hope it's at least 8. But these days, anywhere from 6 to 10 is a very common HBO type deal. I mean, that's not a lot of episodes. So let's stretch it out a little bit and make us wait for it. Now, those cop shows that come on like CBS and stuff, I watch Sheriff Country.
We're getting 8. We're getting 8 episodes for season 1.
Got you. Okay, good. Like Sheriff Country, though, when you got some of those cop shows that come on like CBS and NBC, little cheaper to produce. It's 20 episodes for one season.
Yeah.
So you just get so much more story with stuff like that. Boston Blue, I believe, was 20. And then back in the day, your NCSIs and CSIs and all that stuff, it would always go 20-ish, episodes. But HBO's never really done that because they usually produce something right. It's also going to be expensive, whatever they produce. It's not going to be cheap.
Newt Cox says that he saw Lanterns episode 1 earlier and loved it. Loved cranky butthead Hal Jordan.
That
possible Manhunter cameo in episode 1. You're not the first person that said that to me, Newt, and I didn't pick up on it. Where would the Martian Manhunter cameo have been?
Yeah.
Because somebody said something about the alien that he was interrogating being the Martian Manhunter, and I don't think that was the case at all.
Well, didn't the Lanterns fight some Manhunters? Not necessarily Martian Manhunter.
The Manhunters are the big bad in this episode, this season.
Right.
That's because that guy was one of the Manhunters.
Right.
That's why he knew so much about the Green Lanterns.
So.
Oh yeah, the Martian Man. Oh, a possible Manhunter. I'm sorry, when you said Manhunters, I thought Martian Manhunter. Yes.
Yeah, I think he was just talking about the regular.
The Manhunters. Okay, I'm just an idiot. Thank you.
But they're going to, like you said, be a big part of the story for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun episode.
No Sinestro showing up, so I mean, we got that to look.
I think he's imprisoned.
So
I think Hal goes to visit because he's talking to him and he's in a cell.
And I do hope this season 1, like we experience a lot of the other Lanterns, but I don't want them to feel cheap and like go get Superman or Batman. I want to keep it very contained to the Green Lantern world. Now if they want to introduce us to a Red Lantern or something, I think that would be cool. But I want to definitely keep it to the Lantern world and not rely on like, oh, let's drag Wonder Woman in for an issue or episode.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Superman crossover at some point.
Yeah, at some point's fine, but let's get through this first season focused on the Lanterns.
Yeah.
And let it stand on its own 2 feet. And then if it does, which I think it will, season 2, or when you start talking about a movie, that's when you can do a team up. Like the JLA needs to kind of be relooked at too.
I just don't understand why the Guardians have picked. They want John Stewart trained, but you would think they'd just give him a ring.
Right.
So now there's questions about Hal's ring. I mean about Guy's ring.
Right.
And
the comic book, Guy's my favorite Green Lantern, so
Yeah.
I definitely am interested in that. And then I don't know if Kyle's going to show up at all, or in what capacity. So that'll be interesting if they bring Kyle in.
what if we could get Hal as maybe Hal is so discontent because maybe there's something to his rage at the maybe there's something about his rage here in the Oath. Maybe he thinks there's some hypocrisy with the Guardians. He's had John Stewart forced upon him. He's got Sinestro in his ear. Maybe Hal, because maybe Parallax will be the setup for season 2.
Yeah, and I don't want that in season 1 at all.
I just get tired of him screwing with Hal. I'd like to have some Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Hal's my favorite Green Lantern, and they're always screwing with him.
I think you're going to have to go back and read classic Green Lantern comic books if you really want some good Hal.
Yeah.
Read that Jeff Johns run, and there's some other good stuff out there. But yeah, that's might be the route you got to go for a lot of Hal. I think that John Stewart nailed it, and I wouldn't be surprised if John Stewart ends up being the focus of Lanterns.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're wanting your Hal Jordan, you better go pop open some comics.
Yeah, John Stewart's a closer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was some of the best casting that I've ever seen. I can't think of a better John Stewart. There's been a lot of great Batmans, and I can go to battle for several of them that did a wonderful job. But I didn't just leave any Batman movie going, nobody else can play Batman. That is Batman. Partially because I've seen so many great actors already play Batman. But I can't picture anybody else playing John Stewart. It's kind of how I felt when Hugh Jackman came out as Wolverine.
Well, the guy that was on Arrow that played Diggle,
Mm-hmm.
and actually they did give him at the last episode, you saw him with the Green Lantern ring.
Right.
So that was going to be the Arrow versus Green Lantern.
I'll take this one.
But this guy's perfect for the part.
Yeah, because
I think that Kyle Chandler is a great Hal Jordan. I think he's perfect for Hal Jordan.
Oh yeah,
he's how I imagine Hal Jordan.
Yeah, that's great casting too. It's kind of like Jason Momoa as Lobo on that level, but this was just 10 out of 10. Beautiful, chef's kiss. I can't say anything negative about his delivery, his personality, his look. There was nothing that I didn't like. And there's usually at least something. As much as I liked the first Wonder Woman movie when Gail got to do Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I can at least still picture other people as Wonder Woman. I can't picture anybody else as John Stewart Green Lantern.
Well, my favorite Batman has been I think the one that's been the closest to the comic book has been Ben Affleck.
Okay. Christian Bale's my favorite. But he also got the best script to work with, and those movies were just so epic.
But as far as a comic book version of Batman, that's what I'm looking for, and I think that Ben Affleck has been the closest to the comic book version of Batman.
Yeah, Michael Keaton was pretty good as far as comic book version, because that 80s Batman, they really tried to stick to the comic book.
I was in the camp of Mr. Mom's going to be Batman. Are you kidding me? And he was very good.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't say they've really cast any bad Batmans. Val Kilmer probably was the worst, but he's a phenomenal actor. He just wasn't good for Batman.
I thought out of the Joel Schumacher movies, I thought that not as Batman, but as Bruce Wayne, I thought that George Clooney was a very good Bruce Wayne.
I liked Clooney. Again, the only person that I thought didn't nail it that's ever been called Batman on a big screen was Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
And again, great actor. He's just not, because Untouchable, not Untouchables, Tombstone, one of my favorite movies of all
Oh,
time.
God,
And
yeah.
Val Kilmer's a big reason for it. So I'm not dissing Val Kilmer at all. I love Val Kilmer. And in Top Gun, Iceman, I was rooting for Iceman over Maverick. I wanted Iceman to get the spotlight.
Well, speaking of Batman movies, it has been revealed this week that Zack Snyder is going to be doing the Dark Knight, Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. And he wants Ben Affleck to play Batman, because in The Dark Knight Returns, Batman's 55 years old.
Right.
And there's some talk that says that he not only wants him to play Batman, he wants Henry Cavill to play Superman. But
Right.
until the merger's complete, they can't move forward.
Yeah, that'll be huge. You know what I would really like to see? I want a really good Batman and Robin movie, because there's so many good Batman and Robin stories that are out there, and we've never seen one on the big screen, because the Batman and Robin movie was horrible. So
Yeah, it was.
Give us a good Batman and Robin. And there's material from Mark Waid that you can go grab that he's working on now. Plus, he did one last year that goes back to like year one when Dick Grayson was Robin and, teaching him and stuff. There
is going to be a Batman and Robin movie coming.
Material. Well, I'm ready for it. And please take Robin seriously. Don't let Robin just be the butt of all the jokes and cast to the side. Give me something where Robin, because like if you take Robin serious and you do a good Batman and Robin movie, you have another franchise.
Yeah,
you can tell Robin movies without Batman. Like Robin's that famous and that popular of a character that you can give Robin his own movie if you do it right.
And I like that they don't have to. That James Gunn doesn't feel necessary to give you an origin story in every movie.
Right. We know Batman's origin story. Now, obviously, if they ever do an absolute Batman, they're going to have to tweak it and tell it a little fresh. But as far as Batman, we know what happened. So just get into whatever story you're trying to tell us, and most of the Batman movies have been pretty good over the last 20 years or so. It was the 90s the last time I can remember just watching one and be like, ugh, what was that?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I've actually got the script for Batman Returns, the first draft.
I remember you saying that.
And if they would have filmed that movie, it would have been so much better. But
I don't remember the exact year it came out. What year?
80. Oh, I know. It came out in 90. Came out right after the Rodney King riots.
Okay.
That was 94.
Okay, so I'd have been around.
Because I went to Los Angeles and I saw the Man Chinese Theater decorated for the premiere of Batman Returns.
Well, I'd have been around 11. So I can tell you that 11-year-old that watched Batman Returns loved it. Now, as an adult, not as much. But like Michelle Pfeiffer.
If I can find the script, I'll find the box that I got the script in, and I'll let you borrow it.
Remind me before Fountain Hill to bring you Speed Racer.
Okay.
That way you can be reading Speed Racer. Kristen's already read Batman and Elmer Fudd.
She like it?
Oh, yeah, she liked it. I'm going to read it this weekend. Because, of course, today was New Comic Book Day. And like I said earlier, we picked up about $50 worth of new comics.
It wasn't what you expect, but I mean, the way they drew Elmer Fudd and the way they portrayed him, he was a really good character.
Right. Yeah.
And having Silver St. Cloud in that issue, because she broke Bruce Wayne's heart.
Right. Yeah, with today's comics, I was able to pick up Battle Beast, which is one of my favorites, probably in my top 5 of current stuff. G.I. Joe came out today where they're chasing down the Baroness. So I'm excited to see that. Redcoat came out today, which is so underrated. Another Image comic book that I recommend to everybody that especially likes history, because they work so much history into it. What else came out today that we were looking? Daredevil came out today, which is still Marvel's bestseller currently.
Really?
Right now, Daredevil's beating everybody in Marvel as far as sales. It's beating Spider-Man, it's beating X-Men, it's beating Avengers, it's beating all the stuff right now. They're only on issue 5 of the run, but it's doing big numbers as far as sales go. She's on TikTok, Stephanie Phillips, like working her butt off to promote that book. Getting
There's
tons
only
of
5 issues in. I guess I'll go to Vans and see if I can get all 5 issues and get caught up.
Yeah, and even if you can't, I'm sure they're going to do a trade after issue 6, and
Yeah.
it won't take them long to get that trade out because it is such a big book. If something's not selling too good, it takes them a little longer to get the trade out. But when things are killing it, they spit those things out like clockwork. We got Absolute Green Arrow today, where we get to see Absolute Solomon Grundy go to battle, and he looks super cool. I haven't read it yet, but like the artwork on him is amazing. Raphael Albuquerque is one of my favorite comic book artists, and he's doing that book.
Excuse me.
What else did we get? We got Lobo today, where he battles the Tooth Fairy. We got Deathstroke. We got Deathstroke in, where he's battling his ex-wife. What else came in today? World's Finest, Batman and Superman, where they actually have to go to hell and play a baseball game. So that's going to be a fun one, not a serious one, but it'll be a fun little story. Plus, I love baseball. What else did we pick up? I want to say there's one more that I'm missing, but that's kind of the gist of this week. So I'm looking forward to plowing through all those in the next day or two.
Well, cool. Let's move it on to the food section.
Yes. We got some good food to talk about.
Yeah, I'm fascinated. Merlin's Kitchen, authentic Honduran homemade cuisine. It looked like they had some dishes with plantains.
Oh yeah, I get plantains, I switch mine to banana chips. The dish that I typically get, I got about 3 or 4 things that I get, but the one that I get the most, it's scrambled eggs with chorizo, refried beans, an avocado slice, a cheese slice, and it's supposed to come with plantains, but I switch it to banana chips. And then they have these 2 different sauces. They have a crema, and then they have 2 different sauces that come with it. And there's a sauce. I don't know what it is exactly, but when I dip the banana chips in it, it's like heaven. I just love it. And everybody that I brought there, I've had try it that have never even had banana chips, and they're like, "Ooh, okay, I love it." And it's very affordable. They have a tortilla big, stuffed with meat, cheese, beans, crema, avocado. It's like $6. Like you literally get it, and most people don't finish it. They get a little bit of it to go, and it's $6. So like, where can you go and eat something that's good, fresh cooked, and have something to go when you spent $6?
Yeah.
Now the plate I just mentioned, it's $12. I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, I looked at their menu and the prices were very reasonable. I looked at the pictures of their portions that seemed like they were pretty generous.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll come over early one weekend when I'm coming to a show and Stephanie's not, because there's nothing on there she's gonna eat.
Right. Yeah, we usually, as long as it's 2:30, we usually try and go eat around 1 so that we can be at the building for 2:30. But you're always welcome to come up early and crash at the house or chill out at the house if you need to for an hour or 2. But yeah, Merlin's it's good and it's unique. Being a Honduras place, we don't have, that many places like that. Alex's is the only other place around here that kind of fits, and this is different. Alex is like the corporate version, where this is like going to grandma's house and you sit down and grandma brings you this delicious food you've never tried. And I prefer that. Not that I have anything wrong with the corporate. I like Alex's, but I like grandma, and I want to feel love. And they already know when I come in. They don't even bring the menu anymore. They bring my Coke Zero. They ask me which thing I want. The owner, Johnny, has been to my house and like worked on like my fence and power washed it and So we have that kind of relationship. He got paid well for that. I'm not saying he came out here and just did that for fun or anything, but he's somebody I trusted to come do some work around the house that we needed. And we've developed that rapport from me eating there once every week, maybe twice a week for the last 6 months, 7 months. I typically go every Wednesday, but I will say the air conditioner in there isn't the best in the world. And I had my wife with me today.
Yeah.
Normally my wife's at work on Wednesdays, but today she was with me. And it was 104-ish, 105-ish today.
It was miserable today.
So we decided to go to walk-ons instead of Merlin's just because of the air factor.
Yeah, I think today felt the worst.
I think yesterday was actually the hottest day of the year so far.
It felt pretty bad too, but for some reason today's just really, really.
Monroe set a record for their hottest day, and I think this is before humidity, but it registered at 106, and that's the hottest day in Monroe since like 1893 or something crazy.
Well, my phone and my watch were giving me weather warnings for excessive heat.
Yeah, it was rough, man.
And
going outside to like check the mail can drain you.
Oh, we had an interesting sponsor for Oak Grove that stayed open for us, and I thought that was really cool. Fletcher's Country Store.
Yeah, and they already said they're sponsoring again next year, and they want us back.
They were happy with because we had quite a few stop by and eat.
Oh yeah, it wasn't as many as we have for like West Monroe at El Paso.
No,
but it was a good, I'd say 30, 35 people at least came through the door at different times.
Yeah, well, I stopped in there on the way in and got me a Monster and a candy bar.
Okay.
And because the guy even said to me, he said, "Hey, you want some real food?" And I said, "Well, I do, but I'm fixing to go referee, and if I eat heavy, I'm screwed because So, and he goes, "Oh, y'all are coming back y'all are gonna be back tonight." I said, "Oh, okay," because I didn't know I was in the place.
Right.
And I had a BLT. And the thing was, is I didn't know they had the menu. I didn't know I could turn it over and order off the back.
Oh, yeah.
So I just had the very limited choice because I didn't understand. I thought this is the menu we have for y'all.
Got you.
And I was wrong.
Now you could have got breakfast.
Yeah. And, but I went BLT.
Okay.
Because I like a good BLT, but it didn't fill me up.
If I remember correctly, a BLT ain't all you got though.
No, I went back and got the shrimp po' boy.
That's what I thought.
Because I'd heard him say he still had a pound of shrimp. So I ordered shrimp po' boy. But then Chuck turned heel and ate this in front of me. And I'm fiending for a banana split.
Right.
I mean, we're 5 days removed. Let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 days removed from this. And I want a banana split.
Hey, if you want to meet up at Fletcher's one day, you just let me know and we'll go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's someplace closer
to
get a banana split.
I'm sure.
There's a place in Clinton, Mississippi called Coach's Creamery, and I might get by there tomorrow.
Okay.
When I get off work, I may swing by there and have me a banana split. But I can only eat so much. I used to be able to just be gluttonous.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to eat that whole thing right there.
There was a time I could have ate what I ate and then got that too.
Right.
But yeah, I've been taking Ozempic, and it just when I'm done, I'm done.
Well, I either get a appetizer or dessert. Like I don't get both. And I'm definitely more of an appetizer guy. So typically we get an appetizer and no dessert. But like today at Walk-Ons, we got the pepper jack boudin balls. So we didn't even look at the dessert menu, even though there was somebody sitting at the bar that his dessert.
I like those pepper jack boudin balls. They're solid.
You dip them in some ranch. Plus at Walk-Ons, like they give you 6 or 7 boudin balls in there.
Yeah.
It's like you're
almost a meal if you're by yourself.
Yeah. I could get the boudin balls and a side salad and be filled up. Like I'd be good to go.
Well, yesterday I got off work and I was hungry. And I'm having a problem with my mouth. I went and picked antibiotics and steroids up. I'm going to have a tooth removed and get an implant,
Gotcha.
but it keeps getting infected. So I'm limited as to what I can eat because I can't open my mouth up real wide.
Oh,
Like I had a hard time eating that po' boy the other night.
Stephanie's probably enjoying this.
But I went. There's a new place in Clinton called the Butler's Cabinet. The Butler's. The Butler's Place.
Gotcha.
It says it's soul food.
Okay.
I grew up on soul food, so I'm going to try this place. And I get in there. They open at noon. I'm closer to 2:00 than I am noon. Beef tips were one of their lunch specials. Turkey wings were the other. I sit down. She goes, "Hey, we're out of beef tips." I said, "Okay." So I'm going to go turkey wings. But before she gets back with my tea, I hear another server tell somebody, "Oh, we're out of the turkey wings."
Uh-oh.
So now I'm pivoting and I'm looking at my menu, and I started to go chicken and waffles, but I went fried pork chops.
Okay.
And then I told her I wanted succotash and greens. And I guess she heard me wrong. Because she also asked me, "Do you need ketchup? Do you need pepper sauce?" Or anything? I said, "Yeah, I need pepper sauce for my greens."
Right.
She brings me my plate, and it's got succotash. And if you don't know what succotash is, it's boiled okra, tomatoes, and corn. But and then they brought me green beans. So when she come back by, I said, "Hey, y'all got greens?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, then bring me a side of greens." Because I'd already took a bite of the green beans and they hit real hard.
Right.
So I was going to eat those too. But there was no neck bones. I looked at what they do for the week. Neck bones aren't on the menu. Oxtails aren't on the menu. And I got to tell you, as far as soul food goes, this food was good. I will eat there again. I don't expect my vegetables to taste that healthy in a soul food restaurant. Like I'm wanting to taste some bacon grease.
Right.
You know,
Well,
we needed a ham hock in here.
You said they're fairly new, though, right?
Right. This is a nice restaurant.
Right.
This is more of an upscale restaurant. They do a great business. The food was excellent. I'm not complaining about the food. My expectation was what I grew up on.
Right.
And I've got some recommendations for that. I love oxtails. I love neck bones. I love my greens. I like to have a ham hock in my beans. But this restaurant was very good. I mean,
right.
4 out of 5, it hit for me. And I will go back. And the next time I go back, if I'm too late for the lunch special, I'm going to go the chicken and waffles.
Gotcha.
And I'm not going to go the chicken tenders. I'm going to go the full bone-in wings.
Shout out to Cassandra Golden for her saucy nuggets that she ate at Fletcher's.
You think she felt attacked? Because we both got her.
Yeah, and that table was getting her before we even walked over there. So
boneless wings are nuggets.
Yeah, she was getting a earful.
I mean, they are. There's no such thing as a boneless wing. That would be called a chicken nugget.
Now, nuggets are good. Just you're not eating wings.
No.
But they're still good.
So I do recommend the Butler's Place. It's very good. But the descriptor of it, I mean,
I'll have to go to Jackson. I know you said Clinton, but I'll be going to Jackson next month. So I'm definitely going to stop at one of these places that you recommend on my route, either in or back, since I got to go to Jackson anyway next month.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you're going to go to Jackson, though, now I would go to Mama Hamill's.
Mama Hamill's, okay.
Mama Hamill's is a buffet.
Now, my go-to place is Manship, but I
love the Manship. We've only been there once, and I absolutely loved it.
I've been about 4 or 5 times, but it is my favorite in Jackson.
You ever had the Brussels sprouts?
Yes.
The Brussels sprouts.
Yes.
Are life-changing.
They're up there. They're up there.
Yeah.
So when we get closer to the Brookhaven show in November, we'll have to talk about some of the good food spots there, because a lot of our West Monroe fans that travel 2.5 hours to get to Brookhaven, they got some spots that they just love, like Betty's Eats, Chisholm's.
We've ate at Chisholm's a couple times.
Chisholm's is good. That's Rooster's favorite hamburger, and it's up there on my list. I don't know.
Hey,
if it's
did you see the food that Rooster posted tonight?
No, not tonight.
He went to some steak place and he got they're like pieces instead of a full steak.
Okay.
But it looked, wherever that place went, that looked pretty solid.
We go to Clawdaddy's a good bit, and Kristen got the steak kebab last time we were there. And of course, it has the steak on the kebab, but it also has like grilled pineapple, grilled onions, a few other things on the kebab. And I had to steal a few bites of it when we went the other day, and it was delicious. I got a loaded seafood potato, but I was a little bit jealous of her steak kebab.
He went to Landon Hurd Sterlington Meat Company.
Okay, yeah.
And he had the ribeye wrapped hamburger steak with twice baked taters.
Oh, I love a good twice baked potato now.
But those,
okay,
yeah,
I love a twice baked potato. That's one of my weaknesses. I got several weaknesses, but that's one of them.
Well, now I'm good and hungry. This part of the show always works me up.
We talked about doing this at the beginning so that we weren't so hungry when we got off here, but I don't know if that would be good.
That'd be terrible because
I'd be hungry the whole podcast. So.
Yeah, we'd be talking about what Green Lantern had for supper while he was at the bar.
Right. So yeah, last is probably the right spot, but it definitely makes me hungry. I know the wife is fixing some rotel tonight with a little ground pork in it for the meat choice.
Well, I probably will have a turkey sandwich.
Nothing wrong with a turkey sandwich.
Hey, but my wife's she's made me a spread to put on the bread. It's mixed with Creole mustard, and she mixes it in mayonnaise, and a really, really good spread.
Sounds like she still loves you.
Oh yeah, of course she does. Josh, what's not to love?
I don't know about if we want to go down that rabbit hole here on the
podcast. This weekend I'm going to be refereeing at SWA and at West Jones High School down in Jones County, and Steve Starr is making his return to the ring after 5 years at the age of 61 years old.
Okay.
He had the itch, and he's in great shape. A couple years ago, he started eating healthy. He looks like $1 million, and he wants to give it another go. And I tell you that to tell you that I think it's dangerous when 60-year-old men start feeling good, because then we start thinking that we can do things.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you noticed me chain wrestling with Wes Warren Saturday night.
I did. Are you sore?
No.
Okay.
Dude, I haven't been sore. I haven't been sore in 2 or 3 months, over 2 months now, 3 months now.
All right. We'll have to get Wes to turn up the intensity next time. Maybe stretch you a little bit, get it out your system.
Yeah. I say all that to say is that I'm a year away from being 61. I may have to put my tights and my boots back in my bag.
I respect Stephanie too much to let that happen at BIW. So.
Yeah, I didn't figure I'd get a spot on BIW.
But you always got a spot as a referee. And as a podcast host.
Here's what we do. And this is the shame too. And let me tell you, I'm going to preach about storytelling in wrestling, how it's just the little things. Once upon a time in a tag team match, if you tag somebody in, they had to lock up. They couldn't just turn around and tag back out. Referee wouldn't allow it. You had to actually make contact.
Right.
Hulk Hogan needed a tag team partner one night. So he said, Mean Gene's going to be my tag team partner. All Gene was going to do was stand on the apron.
Right.
Hogan's going to fight them both. Hogan's doing good. He turns around, and him and Mean Gene do a high five, and the referee said, tag, you got to get in. So then they put the heat on Gene
Right.
because they wouldn't let it. He couldn't get back out. And finally, Gene gets, does the hot tag. But because of the rules, they were actually tell the story about a high five. No, that's a tag. No, you can't tag right back out because those are the rules.
Right.
The little things like that, just a little rule like that created a storytelling opportunity. And that's what.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's so many things from the old days that you know, just still would work today if they were given the opportunity to work today, but they're not given the opportunity to. I can't tell you how many times over the last 19 years somebody's called me a genius for something that happened in BIW, and I'm going, that was a Mid-South thing that I tweaked a little bit. I tweaked one little piece, but that is definitely a Mid-South angle or a
Oh,
Memphis angle or, whatever. And it's like, I appreciate the kind words, but I am just a humble servant of Mr. Watts and the great things that he did.
well, sometimes the boys will ask me if I have an opinion on when they're putting stuff together, and anything I suggest to them. I mean, I came up with the one thing that I thought I did, and come to find out it had been done before. Nothing's original, but a
Yeah,
lot
you
of the
can
stuff
tweak
that I
it.
suggest comes back from 40 years ago.
Yeah, you can tweak it, but nothing's brand new.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most successful angles that AEW has ever pulled off was Timeless Tony Storm. And all she did was go back and do Nora Dietrich from the Carol Burnett show,
Right,
all the way down to Luther being Max, the Harvey Korman character.
right.
But the kids didn't know.
No. Plus, I mean, that wasn't done in wrestling. So
Right.
you're
But I
wrestling
mean,
fans.
that character, and I recognized it immediately because I used to watch Carol Burnett's show.
Right.
I grew up on it. But to me, if what's old can be new again,
Oh, absolutely.
and it used to work, it will work.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes you just got to give it a tweak for a modern audience. But yeah, there's lots of stuff that you can do that hasn't been done since the 70s or 80s, or it hasn't been done exactly that way because times have changed a little.
Yeah.
So just kind of tweak it to where this is
Well,
probably how Fuller would have did it in 1970, but let's change it. And how would he have done it in 2026?
Well, it's what I was telling you about the little tag rule. They don't do that anymore. So
Right.
now when you have that with the tag team partner that's either injured or not experienced, that they just can't stand seeing their partner down, and they actually tag themselves in and putting their team at a disadvantage or costing them the win.
Right.
The injured wrestler just can't do it, or but their assignment was to stand on the ring apron and let me handle it.
Right.
But without that little bit of storytelling, they had to pivot it to another way to tell the story.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, over the top rope used to be, because you knew that you weren't supposed to throw somebody over the top rope.
Right.
So when you did it, the crowd was like, "Hey, he threw him over the top rope."
Oh,
Not
yeah.
like, but it's just, you might have thought it was a dumb rule, but it made for a storytelling opportunity.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't think I'm not old man barking at clouds, but I think sometimes pro wrestling overthinks it. Good versus evil still works. Take the rules, break the rules. If you don't respect the rules, then you're just out there doing stuff.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, there's so many different elements that you can use, and you want to use them all, not just some of them.
People are looking at me funny when I count when the wrestler's on the apron, because they don't do that on television anymore. So it makes it look like I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. Wrestling's beautiful when done right. That's for sure.
When it's perfect, there's nothing better.
Agreed, 100%.
I think that's a good place to stop it, because I'll preach for another hour once we start talking old school.
Yes, sir. It's time for some Rotel.
Yeah, Josh, this is fun. I'm enjoying doing this. We're six episodes in.
Yep.
I'm loving it, and man, if I ever get over to the comic book store and just really get to digging in.
Right.
It may just be panels because I don't know that we'll get to pile drivers and plates.
We at least going to get to a little bit of it each time.
All right.
It might be a very small portion, but we'll at least do a cameo.
All right. Well, we'll do this again next week right here at Mark Out Moments. Check us out on our socials. We have the Triple P Facebook page. Like and follow us, please.
Yeah, we just created that, so
we'll eventually start broadcasting probably in the next month. As soon as Facebook gives us a green light, we'll be able to broadcast on our channel. We're over at the Josh and Dave pod over on X because there's been several Triple Ps. But follow all those for us. Help us out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. The audio podcast drops on Friday wherever you download your podcasts. For Josh Newell, I'm Dave Miller. We will see you next week on Triple P, the Comic Pod, panels, pile drivers, and plates with Josh Newell. Good night, everybody.
See you next time.